everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do three animals in this tutorial today, and and two of them are gonna pretty much have the exact same body style, except the part of the head that I might have to improvise on, but we will do that on the unicorn. So we are going to do a horse, we're going to do a unicorn, and we're going to do a donkey. So saying that, we're going to start off with well bond. As I tell you, for people that haven't been to my channel before, well bond, I buy it at Rona or Lowe's. It's a lot better hold, I find, than E6000, and it's not toxic compared to E6000. It dries a lot faster, and it dries clear, and you can use it on wood, tile, glass, foam, ceramics, and more. I really like it. So what you're going to need, it's going to be just over about 200, it's 189 blocks, so it's just over 2.5 blocks of Jenga that we're going to use. So I have glued this because I've played around for a while with different trying to figure out a design. So this is the best design so far that I've come up with that I really like. And so I'm going to go through and tell you, I'm going to work by line going down. And I'm going to tell you, the position using this, how many, and then this part of the head is actually all with the Jengas facing this way. The rest of the body, minus the legs, are facing downwards. So the top part of the head, we're going to use 1. The next line is, I'm going to use a pointer here, is 2. The next line is 3, but we're going to do an indentation here. The next line is exactly over top. The next one is another 3. The next line is 5, 5, and 5, and they're all exactly centered on each other, with one block turned this way for the so-called nose. Now, that's where that ends, and then the body part, and those are all with the Jengas upright. So the next line will be 5, the next line 6, next line 7, next line 8. The next line is 24, 23, 22, and 21. And as you can see with these blocks, is just adjusting them, is just moving right over to make kind of I guess a pyramid, right? You're just doing the one less here, and then you're doing the one less here, just to give it an angle with like a 3-dimensional effect going that way. So I think it turned out well. I liked it to come back here because we're going to add some hair to it and do the tail. So the total for this, the body without the legs, is 141, and the legs are 48. So the next thing we will do is move on to the legs. Now, I revamped, I had 4, but I decided I'm going to do 3. So just upright, 3 across, 3 across, 3 across. That's a 9 on each legs, 4 legs. So 36 blocks, which will be a total of 177. Now, when you're gluing them, I suggest that you could lie it down like this, and then once it's dry, flip it over and stick the other ones underneath to dry. Or you can actually just put it on something that's level and just glue them on like such. Leave them for a couple hours. Now, I know some of the crafters that did my reindeer one, the reindeer that I created, they had a problem with the legs, I guess, hitting them, and then they've come off. If that ever happens, just make sure that you actually file off the glue from the leg and from where you've glued them on, because it won't hold as well, glue on glue. So it's just better to make sure and you file them off. Now I would leave that for a couple hours, just for the fact that you want to make sure that it sets really well. And then I'm going to just use some from Lowe's/Rona. I'm just going to use some gel stain. I'm going to do it a rustic like I did with the duck. And I'm just using a dark walnut. All right, so now that I let it dry with the stain on for a full day, just because it was a little bit sticky, and it seems to be fine now. So the next thing we're going to move on to is the ears. So I just had some foam that I had. I didn't have brown because I wanted to kind of stick with the color scheme of the horse. So I just eyeballed it. I cut out a piece of the foam, and I actually just painted it brown, and just with a couple flecks of black on the inside. All I did was just take, the hot glue and just glue it in there. And then pinch it together. Kind of have to hold it for a little bit. And for this, seems to be a little bit longer than the other one. And then I just used some Dollar Tree brown paint. And then we are going to place that on the side of, I'm going to do right near the back, which will look like that. Now, once I glue I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to show you. So there's many different things that you can actually do for the mane. I had a few different ideas, but I wanted to keep it more of a rustic look. So I found some jute rope. Now this one is from a different dollar store. My Dollar Tree didn't have any. They just had the very thin one. But what you're going to do is you're going to make it a little bit longer than you actually want, because then you could just trim it. And you're just going to unwind it. And I'm just going to show you. So you're just going to keep unwinding it. And then even when this part comes, it keeps coming pieces almost like string. And you're just going to keep doing that with a bunch. Now it depends on how much you want to do. I'm going to do them for the mane and tail, and I have done it already, and I'm going to show you here in a second, but I'm just excuse me, I'm just trying to show you. So I took a piece of cardboard and I actually just glued it, hot glued. Now, when I hot glued it, I'm going to show you. I just was trying to find a piece of something that when I glue it, I'll say this is a little square. Excuse me. And I started at the bottom and I kept just big strands. I'm going to show you in a minute. And keep going all the way up. It's going to be glued this way, but when you put it on the horse, now this is my piece of, and I did chop some of the hair off. As you can see, it's all glued this way, but then you want it to flip it so it's a little bit, it's not going straight down, just like real flat on the horse. So I did trim it until I get it on. As you can see, the little piece of wood, the hot glue. I don't know how many strands that is. It's a little bit time consuming. But then I'm just gonna glue it on here. And once you get it glued on, I might add a few pieces just on the side. And I think it's gonna be cut a little bit as well. And then you have, now I can't find it. Then you got the little ear here. And I'm just gonna do a couple strands for bangs. Now, for the eyes, sorry guys, I'm not going to glue it on the screen because I'll be here. For the eyes, I just took some pearls and I just actually painted them black, and I put some Mod Podge, shiny Mod Podge, the gloss, just for a little bit shinier, and I'm just gonna stick the eye there. For the tail, same idea as the mane, except this one I just actually, it's super long right now and I'm gonna have to trim it. Then I just kept wrapping the cord around to keep it tight, and then I just hot glued it. So this will go on to the, just on the back like that, and then position it as you want. Obviously it's too long, so I am gonna trim it in the back. So you could do it there. I think I might do it there just because the way it's gonna hang, it's just gonna hang over like such. At the end of the video, I am gonna show an upright version of all of them together, and I'll kind of do a 360 of each one on this little turntable I have, and then we'll show you. I am going to do, sorry about someone keeps messaging me on another device in my house here, but I am just gonna do the bottom of the feet with some black Dollar Tree paint, just for hooves, just a thin part on all 4 of the legs, but I think it turned out really good. So I'm gonna get this one done, and then we were gonna move on to the unicorn. Now the unicorn body is the exact same thing as the horse. Third part of the tutorial will be the donkey, and I think I'm gonna go a little bit slower. The donkey is just a little bit, body is a bit different, but I'm just gonna show you because it has still the same front part of here, and I will go slower just so, and you can always screenshot it too, just so that I try not to go too fast and I don't want to confuse anybody. So I will, when I do the donkey, we will start that from scratch and I will show you. All right, so now we're gonna do the unicorn. So I did exactly like the horse. I still am gonna put another coat of white on it. I'm on 3 coats. I can still see part of the grain on the Jenga blocks, and I'm gonna do another probably 2 coats, but I wanted to show you, we'll start going forward before, while I'm gonna do the other coats off camera. Now I just used the Dollar Tree white paint. I'm just gonna move this here. Now for the ears, I just used the similar to the horse ears with just foam sheets. It just eyed it. I didn't measure anything. I just measured it once I did cut it, and I just cut them out and then matched it on the other sheet of what I want to do. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Let's see if I can put that on. Now, the thing is, you got to hold it for a few minutes. Once you put it on, oops. So there you go. Just pull any excess hot glue off. Now, I wanted to add a little bit of gold on it. I'm just going to use the Mod Podge matte. You can use the gloss, it doesn't really matter. And just some gold sparkles. And these ones are actually from Michael's. I just got them super cheap in like a pack of 12. So I just have the gold here. And what you're going to do is just paint the outline around the edges, and it will turn out like this. So I really like that idea, and I really like the small, I don't know, it just gives it a little bit of sparkles because we're doing a unicorn, right? So the next thing, which I was really excited to find, because I looked through the stores a few times and I'm like, what am I going to use to make a horn on the unicorn? I go, that's such a, you know, I've looked through every aisle, and I actually thought about something, and I tried to look for it in my house and I couldn't find it. So Dollar Tree has these bag of shells, and I actually went back and I actually found one of these shells, which I think was super cool. I'm like, oh my God, that is so perfect for the unicorn. Now, the thing is, it's hollow on the inside, so I'm just gonna move this over here. when you want to put it, I'm going to do it sideways so you guys can see. When you do it, I think I'm going to do it right there where the down, but you're like, oh, well, there's in there, it is not solid. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it up. Hot glue. Oh, of course I'm going to run out. And we're just going to fill it so it's kind of an even, and I would let this, I would let it dry. Oh yeah, I didn't let it warm up. Until you almost get a flat surface. Now, I wouldn't be starting to glue this on right away because you want to build up the glue and you want to make sure it dries almost to a flat surface. So when you put it flat, it will glue properly. And I probably wouldn't use hot glue. I'd probably use the Well Bond and a little bit of hot glue, but make sure the glues don't touch each other. Sorry guys. So I don't overflow it. So as you can see, I'm going to turn it sideways. I just don't want to pour out. It shouldn't. But I'm going to let that dry really good so it becomes really solid, as you can see here in the camera. And it's so it will glue better when you put it on the surface because it's more of a flat and it's not hollow anymore. And I think I'm just going to spray paint it. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I am going to spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum. It's just a metallic gold, and it's just a very shiny finish. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that, or if you don't want to go out and spend, I've had this for a while, so I haven't used it. I got paint all over me. If you don't have that, you can also, right back to Mod Podge, you can make it different colors. You could use just the gold on it. I think just with all the other colors that I am going to be adding to it, I think I'm just going to do gold. So I'm just going to spray paint that, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do the glitter on it, but I'm just going to let this dry. And then I just have something drying right now, and for something else for the unicorn. So let me do a couple coats and I'll be back. All right, so I just wanted to show you. So I put the ears on, they're glued on the side. I actually should have waited because I want to add something between the ears, which would probably have been a little bit better, but that's okay. I just put a little bit of pink glitter on the bottom for like hooves. Now, I'm just gonna move this. So we want to add some hair. So I've tried a couple different options. First of all, at first Dollar Tree I went to didn't have any fake hair. I ended up buying one of those Barbie heads. I found the hair was too short on them. Then I went to another Dollar Tree after work today, and I was able to find these ones. It actually comes on a headband. It came in purple. I'm going to show you the other colors. I'm not going to use them. I've changed my mind. They came in a blue, a green, and a red, but no pink. But I was able to find at Dollarama a little Mickey one that had the pink and a little bit of white. So I'm going to mix these two in, and I'm just going to keep it more of a pink and purple hair on the unicorn. I also did try using a curler, just because I didn't want the hair just to be straight hanging off the unicorn. I want to put some curl in it. So I put it on a low setting just because obviously this is not real hair, and you don't want to burn it too much. So I tried it, I believe it was at 200 Celsius, 260 Celsius, and it seemed to do a curl. And I just left it for a minute. I just wanted to see if it would work. Now, I did pull the headband part off, which had the braided part up top. So, and this is what and it was in the kids section at Dollar Tree. So that was the packaging on it. Now, I think I'm going to put the braided part just between the, I don't know if you can see it here, in between, if I can get it without unraveling. I'm going to try to put it there, but I am going to play it off camera. I want to try the similar idea how I did with the horse and see if I can use hot glue and glue the hair on, and then putting the patch like this and another little patch of hair as well on here. And let me see if this is going to work. If not, then we will be doing something else. but let me see if that's gonna work and I'll come back and show you. So I just wanted to show you as I'm going along that I'm gonna do the same concept as I did for the horse, is like I said, gluing it, but I'm doing it layer by layer. So I just keep cutting the hair. I will chop it shorter and might need some more, but I did get it, I was able to get the braid off underneath, but you had to use sharp little scissors. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, if I'm still gonna put that on, but I did a layer of purple, so you'll be able to get the hair that's under the braid, and I'm cutting it in sections, and I just thought as I go along, so I will glue on another one just using hot glue. I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to do it all in front of you, but I'm just going to show you. Going to glue another layer on, and then I'll take some more pink. Now, doing it the one way, but when we glue it, we'll do it over this way so it gives it a nice volume. Obviously, it's going to be a lot thicker. We could probably add some on the side. It will be cut once it's put on there, and then we'll add some curls to it with iron, but I just wanted to show you as we're going along. All right, I just wanted to come back and show you that I actually finished gluing the hair on. So I did the up that we did the flip over, which is on top, which is making it really bushy right now. And then the rest underneath, I'm gonna show you here. I did it flat. It's almost like doing hair extensions. So, and then as well, I did just glued sections on just with hot glue, pressing down on it. And then as you can see here, it's just glued on the side, just sections that I just cut from the braid, and the same thing with on this side. I'm gonna tame it down, even though I use a straightener, and just make sure that you use it on a low setting. So I'm just going to use some oil just to keep it flat. The tail, I just put an elastic, and I actually just hot glued it right onto the butt. As you can see, I have a little pony to keep it straight right now. And it depends on, you can make it longer. I had it really long and I did shorten it, but I just have an elastic so they don't get tied up with crossed over with the other side. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the shell on last. I did fill it with the hot glue, as you can see in there. Did really good. So then it will be put on the second, just the first level down from the top. Now, because I put the gold on the ears, I'm actually going to add a little bit more bling to the bottom of the legs. Now, you can do it any design that you want. I had this gold strip, and it did look like, let me see, like this. I think I got this off Wish a while ago. So because like I said, I did the gold, I'm just going to add little strips around the leg to add a little bit of gold to the bottom of the leg. And on top here, look how fuzzy. I just think it looks so cute. And you can brush it through. A few pieces come off, but it's on there pretty good. And I did use like the little paper sections, like I showed you how I did the up, but even with the part going down, you know, I guess you don't have to do that when you're just doing the little sections on it, but I just found it works really good. And as you can see, it's on there pretty good. I might put some little flowers on top, as you can see here. I don't particularly like these ones. You put some diamonds on there as well, and a flower. I'll probably put a little braid on this side. So let me get this one finished and done, and I will show you the at the end of the video. Like I said, I will show you the horse all the way around, as well as the unicorn. Those are just the little extras I'm going to add to it. And then we're going to start the donkey. All right, so we're going to move to the donkey now. The donkey's going to be a little bit shorter because he's a mini donkey. I did some adjustments. I did take the extra block off here. I may add it later depending when it put together. That's why I always tell you guys wait till the end, because I do some adjustments when I am building it, because I'm just like you, so I haven't built one before. So sometimes I just play around and see what I come up with. So I'm just going to go through and show you how I have this. There's a bit of an adjustment. The bottoms, the backside's a little bit shorter. I did minus one line of Jenga. Now you can always go to the Crafty shopper page, and I did take a picture of the horse and the unicorn's body before they were painted. So you can always check there just for reference if you want to see the blocks. So I kind of do them on an angle just so it gives it more of a realistic 3D look, I guess. So the first line is 1. We got 2. Now that's over each other. We got 3. We got 5 and 5. Now these are all horizontal with the blocks going widthwise. And we got 3. Then the next row, now we go vertical. We got 5, 6, 7, and 8. As you can see, it's kind of like a tripod like this to give it the 3D look. Then we go to the top of the main body, and that's 22, 21, 20, and 19. The legs will be an extra layer shorter, so we will have 6 blocks on each legs, so 6 times 4, just because he's a little bit of a shorter guy. Now I am going to do this one off camera, and I'm going to glue it all together. I did buy this paint at Dollar Tree. It is Payne's Gray. I don't know if the paints, I like the other paint, but I haven't tried this brand yet, which is new. So I'm going to see if I like this gray. If not, I'll just use the regular gray. So when I come back, we will move on to the next step. All right, so I ended up painting using that gray. I'm just going to try to find it now. This new one from DT, Payton's Gray. It's the Supple Basics. Did not like it. It was too see-through. It was very dark and bland. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. So I went to a couple Dollar Trees and a couple Dollaramas, dollar stores. Could not find gray at all. I only could find silver metallic. So I actually just made my own concoction, which I only have this much left. I just used probably about 80%, 85% white, and then I added some black into it to get gray. Now, mind you, depending on how gray you want to have the donkey, that's up to you. So this is what I came out with, and I really like the gray on it. I did the little hooves black, and I did the front part white. I am going to use just some little black buttons as eyes. For the ears, it's going to be similar. Let me move this little guy over there. We're just going to do this, but I'm not going to put them on the side like I did for the horse and the unicorn. I'm not going to put them on the side. I'm actually going to put them from behind. I am going to paint what I have left with the gray and leave a little bit of speckle of black in it. The thing is, let me just show you here. You just got to hold it like this for a bit till it dries. So make sure, because I don't know. Sometimes I cut one and I just freehand. Oh, okay, they're okay. Sometimes I just freehand when I cut the ears out. So it's the same kind of idea. The only thing is when you put it on the back, I just wanted a little bit more narrow. On this one, actually, I glued it better. I don't have to cut it. Oh, I do. So on the back of it, I'm just going to angle it like such. So it just gives it a more defined shaped, oops, I'm just throwing stuff around, on the back. So as you can see, oh, let me hold it from the top here. So you can see. So it gives it a little bit more defined look than just more of a square bottom. So I am going to paint, like I said, that. Now the tail, oh, we're going to do mane on it too. The tail is just this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. I just cut a piece off and I just kind of hot glued it on an angle. I am going to paint this with the rest of the gray as well, just paint right over it. And I did it on angle here. And when you unroll it, let me just look here. When you unroll it, you have 3. I don't want it thick. So I actually just left the one and did some hot glue here. Reason being, once we get the ears glued on, we're gonna do a little mane, how usually a very short kind of like how can I say it, like a mohawk kind of thing. Now my Dollar Tree doesn't have the biggest selection of yarn. Oh, I'll keep this back here. So I just used some fun fur and I'm just gonna glue it on the back. Oh, let me show you sideways. It's the thing about YouTube, you only can show a wide angle. I'm just gonna glue it on the back here. And I'm just gonna glue it down like this, right between the ears. And then on the tail, so we got the tail here with this one strand. Once I paint this gray, the same color as the body, I am just gonna make the tail and I'm just gonna wrap it around and make it more angled. Just a little pop of color. So it'll be gray with a little bit of black fur on the bottom as a tip to match the mane. So once I do that, we will come back. I will show you all 3 of them. I will switch the angle where they're all standing up and twirl them around and show you all of them completed. All right, so I'm just showing you the end result. So I end up just using my cricket for the eyes. I added a little flower. I put a little braid on the side. I did add a couple diamonds and a few pearls, and I think it turns out pretty cute. You could also put glitter on the unicorn, on the shell part as well. I just kept it gold. I thought it turned out really well. Let's change to the donkey. Now we have the donkey. We'll do in the side view. It turned out, it was easy enough just to paint right over the cord, the nautical rope, and just add a bit of the fur, added a little bit of color, and just use some buttons. He turned out super cute. And finally, the horse. Oops. And I think I said I was going to use the pearl eyes and that I painted black, but I ended up just going with buttons, and I think it just turned out really well as also. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and give me a thumbs up on this video, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.